Hello, and welcome to what I'm really excited about this one. So, welcome to the Age of Quarantine. My name is Caroline. I sometimes host these things. I do marketing and social media and stuff for Vitus. And I'm really excited because we have Frank Wang, also known as Max Volume Silence Live, uh, and previously known as Pit Full of Shit. Frank is a videographer and also just the greatest person. And I have been trying to get Frank to do one of these for like 6 months. So I'm like really, really excited that Frank said yes. So yeah, I know. I'm really excited. Thanks for sassing me, Eric. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to invite Frank about how great he is. Because that's why you guys are all here. So Frank is able to join.
Oh my God.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh yeah, there were like 14 people watching this. 14 people. There's a lot of people watching this.
Just don't
Hey,
look at
how
the.
you doing? What?
Just
I
don't
wonder
look
if
at
I
the.
can turn myself off.
Sorry. You have to look at yourself this whole time.
Like, no. All right, what's up? What's up?
But yeah, so I know you've watched these before, but the basic gist, I'm gonna just talk to you about how cool I think you are. And
Okay.
for everybody who's tuned in, there's like a little question function. There's a comment. So if you want to say hi to Frank and tell him how much you miss him, you're also welcome to down there. So, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna probably jump around a bit, but
Okay.
um, I've known you for I don't even know how long at this point
I
because
I I've lived here. Well, this August with me, my 10th year living in the city. So I would say around that.
yeah,
I definitely know you from Piron, and
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I filmed Piron like the first year I lived here. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense. And then I would run into you when I was photographing shows and stuff too, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
yeah, it was always nice because I always had like you and Torsten to talk to.
Yeah. Now I remember. I think like our first conversation was at something, and then like both of us were at the front of the stage, and then you were telling me that I was like moving around, so you can't have your spot.
And I
I
appreciated
think that
that.
was what happened. And you were like, "Oh, that was really nice of you." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Really?" It's like, okay.
Not everybody does that. People can be kind of dicks. So
Yeah. Oh my God, the very entitled videographer
yeah,
and photographers. Yeah.
yeah.
I try to not talk shit today, so please don't make me do
Oh, it's I'll keep you talking much shit, but you're gonna talk a little bit of shit. So
Okay.
um, I know. But I know, so you've been in the States for 10 years. Did you basically start filming like as soon as you got here? Or like, what was your experience filming before you ended up in New York?
Well, I started filming when I was in Taiwan. It's back in 2017. And it started as so it was a school, it was a part of a school project when I was in college, that there was a advanced video production course that
Mm-hmm,
was going to make like projects before, like we had to apply for the class, and then you had to have your own projects before you
mm-hmm,
apply it. And I was at the time I was like following around one of my friend's mans, and I somehow convinced my parents to get me a really small DV at the time. And somehow they agreed to it. I was like, why? So they agreed to got me a camera at that point, and then I was following around, and I think there was a festival at the time, and that my friend was also playing, and then it was after that, and I realized like, oh, I have this tool that I could possibly like helping the bands here, well, in Taiwan per se,
Yeah.
and like helping them as like, cool, you can have this video that you can put on the internet if you want to use it to promote it, or if you want to just use it to like critique yourself or whatever that is. So that's how it started it, and then I kind of just keep doing it. And then I mean, I appreciate the people I meet along the way. I think that's how I keep going. And
Yeah.
then some of them are still good friends of mine, even until today that I don't live there anymore.
Well, I mean, I
Um,
would assume that they sort of appreciated you as well because you were helping out by like providing with film of them like performing. Like to your point, they
yeah,
could post on the internet, they could see how well they did, see whether they could, improve on some things in their performances.
yeah, or they just get really pissed off that I film them. There's also that, or give me a lot of trouble later. Well, anyway, so later on, I moved here for grad school in like summer 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course, I came here for film school. So, of course, I had my camera gears on me at the time. And then, so it was pretty simple. I just look up on the internet. It's just like, what's happening in New York City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding stuff.
I think I look up a couple bands I really like and then see if they're playing. And excuse me, one band that actually worked was Coffin Warm.
Yeah.
Um, so I found Coffin Warm was playing with Earthly Trance and Disma.
Okay.
Disma. Yeah, Disma, the Nazi band.
Yeah.
Part
Two
Nazi band.
are great.
I don't know if they're still a thing. Um, yeah, so that's how I learned about St. Vitus, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it was coffee. I looked at Coffin Warms and I found out they were playing in New York, and then I found out St. Vitus, and then I found out there was a show before that that was the cast of it show with Artificial
Mm-hmm.
Brain. So that was my first show that we talked about, like the very
Yeah.
first film of St. Vitus was cast of it, Artificial Brain and Radiation Blackbody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that kind of just
Like,
snowballing that I started meeting people.
and that was like right after Vitus opened too. So you
Yeah,
were like months.
it was a good timing, I guess. Just like everything just happened somehow at the same time. It's just right place at the right
Yeah.
time. Yeah, lucky me, I
Yeah.
guess.
And
Lucky me.
that Akron was still like serving beers out of a cooler.
Oh my
Like,
god! You remember they have the small room next to the stage, and the stage was like half sized.
yeah.
I miss that place. That place was great.
Yeah, that place was really
I remember like when we were doing the whole K-Pit thing for Kerrang a couple years ago that we're trying to find a new spot
fun.
after
For
our
folks who might
first.
not know what for folks
I
who
don't,
might not know what the K pit.
so a couple years ago that Kerrang had a whole huge plan of like they trying to rebranding in New York City or in states per se.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they had this live concert series in UK called the
Mm-hmm.
K-Pit that what was that? In somewhere I forgot what the venue is, but like the thing is they're gonna have big band playing small venues. So that was the idea, and then they want to bring that to states. So we did a couple bands at the Gutter. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's how we started, but like later on, Gutter didn't work out, and we're trying to find a new spot. So I actually, let's go back to Akron. So I was actually asking, I think it was Meredith at the Akron, at the Anchorman, and I was like, hey, so we kind of want to have a new spot? Can we have shows here? Maria's like, no, we can't even have a little bit of show. Not even a little bit. I was like, not even acoustic. It's like, no, we can't have any shows here. It's like, damn it. Yeah, that was really sad when they was gone. I was there when they tear down the entire stage.
No shit. Well,
Yeah.
because I know, like, between Vitus and the Akron, like, if I was at a show at one of those places, chances were you were too.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Probably. Most likely. If it's metal shows, I think I'll probably be there.
I
Uh
think I remember seeing you fall asleep, like, between sets, too, at the Akron. You just kind of,
oh
like,
my
put
god,
in the corner.
man. I mean, I fell asleep at shows all over the place. I mean, that's why I'm like more selective on what shows I'm going to now. There's just no point going to everything anymore.
Yeah. You
I
just
think
can't. It's not sustainable.
yeah, I think it was like 5 or 6 years. And so it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, I'm kind of getting tired going to shows like 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, well, because you're showing up for every band. You're showing up early so you can set up your
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Usually I set up like when the band loads in. I
Yeah.
usually showed up when the band loads in. Um, cause I mean, if it's a band that I don't know, it's good that you showed up early, so they know you exist.
Yeah. Well, because
Especially as a big band.
yeah,
That
because I know, like with some bands, sometimes they're like, "Who's who's filming what now?"
yeah, or they just really defensive about it. Especially tour managers and managers. If they're big bands, like it's good I showed up early. At least I can talk to them on what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, some of them are fine with it. A lot of them were dicks. Some of them just don't care. So it's just fine. I
Yeah.
love that. But it's always nice to show up early, so at least you know what's going on, and like you have like all the other people that work at the show know what's going on.
Hmm.
I think it's part of like just trying to be respectful with people, because when you're trying to be respectful with people, most of the time people are trying to be respectful,
Yeah.
and that's usually how like a good working dynamic happens. And that's how I meet a lot of the people that work in show industry, or like they just like a lot of tour managers with the sound people or like stations. That's how I know them, because like I showed up early and I talked to them. I was like, hey, this is what I do. And
Yeah.
then a couple years later, people were like, oh yeah, I've seen your stuff. And then like and it's like, okay, cool, we're good, we can do this now. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it probably helps too, because like, I mean, because you have shot so many different bands. Like, I think with some of the larger acts, that probably makes it a little bit easier to be like, oh, well, this is me. This is like all the stuff that I've shot before. Like, if you have any questions about it, you can like check out my page, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Um I think there are only a couple of bands that actually of like big bands. Only a couple of them like okay with it was Neurosis. I'm still surprised Neurosis let me film them at all.
I was gonna bring that up
Even
too,
until
because
today. I'm just like, why? Um, but I'm gonna just roll with it because they're cool. And then that
well,
leads up to Sleep are cool with me now. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
and they've had you film them a bunch too, or they've had you film them a bunch. Because like I know you filmed the Vitus set that they did, but you've also filmed them like you filmed them in Oakland, right? Maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah, I did the whole anniversary thing, which is I don't know what's gonna happen with that now.
But
I'm not gonna
still, like
comment on it.
they
I'm not gonna
they
comment on it. What?
they like took the time to have you out there for that.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. They were like, "Well, how much is your budget? Just come over and do it." Because it was a year after they do the Vitus thing, and then I think before that I shot them in Tucson at my friend's festival, Southwest Terror Fest,
Hmm.
and I had their publicist to hook me up, I was just like, it was a long shot. I was just like, I mean,
Yeah.
since I know they're publicists, I'll just hit them up. You know, they were probably gonna say no. You know, and then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, you can do like the first 3 songs and then did whatever. And so we did that, and then that's how I started getting connected with them. And then I was like, well, you guys coming to New York, I can come film at St. Vitus. And then they were like, well, actually come down to Philly to shoot a Union Transfer. So that's what happened, and like that video was still one of the most popular one on my channel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I definitely like early, like during shutdown shit when I was like really not adjusting well, I would definitely like put on one of the shows that you had filmed that I'd been to and just like try to like relive it. So I'd
I
be like,
would. I have been really enjoying not going to shows. I've been
a
like
break.
really,
So like,
really enjoying it. I like ironically I had to go to St. Vitus tomorrow, but like to
yeah,
film dance. But yeah, but like I have been really enjoying like just not going to shows at night anymore.
yeah. Oh, it's
And
exhausting. Like
yeah,
doing
and
it.
then I get like hours of my time back every day. You know, I have all these extra times, like whether if it just I'm just like watching fucking TV for 5 more hours, or
Yeah,
like I get to do other random stuff or extra things I was trying to do before, but I didn't have time. And then like all of a sudden I have all these possibilities that can happen now. So I've been take advantage of that, I guess, if you can say that. Um, yeah. So I'm part of the luckier people during this whole pandemic. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
well, I know also you've been sort of like playing around with some like more experimental stuff now and again too. Like you've been doing some stuff with like actual film, but I know you also got some like pedals and like
Yeah.
the story.
So I actually been doing the film thing a couple years ago already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the first project I did, it was out totally out. It's like a lot of these things that I do, it's
Mm-hmm.
just all random. It's just all random thoughts. Like, oh, that might be cool,
You
and then
expect,
I'll look up eBay and try to find all these really cheap stuff. Like I found a 16 millimeter projector for $100,
yeah,
and I found like these like online like people that sell film like materials for really cheap. And then that's how I started. And I think a couple of years later, I did another one for this band called Huang
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Florida. Their singer now plays in Torch.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
he
was
plays,
also,
I think he plays
yeah.
bass now. And then this year I got made a new like I think that's like my best ones yet. Like the best batch I made was it was back in like summer last year. Nikki from Nothing just hit me up randomly, said like, hey, we're trying to do like a live stream show with Full Help.
Mm-hmm.
And they cause I did a video like that for Full Hell like 2019 when I did their
Mm-hmm.
last record. So like Nikki was like, yeah, I really dig that. Can you make a new batch for us, and then we'll put it on the projector with all the other stuff that we're trying to do. So yeah, I mean, I did that this year, and I really last year now. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
did it, and then the whole pedal stuff was, I think, it was also 2019.
Can you explain what you're doing with the pedals? Just because I know I was like talking to you about it, but I don't know.
Uh, I have them here. Um, let's see. So well, I found this guide on eBay that made these little boxes.
Hmm.
So these boxes are basically like video signals. I forgot what the term is. They just like it's like a distortion for video signals. And
Yeah.
and then I also got this, which is an AB switch. So they are like two inputs and then one out. And the cool thing about this thing is it has an audio input.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah,
Is it
so I could
too?
plug in anything into this, and then like the noise coming out of it will like respond to the audio.
Huh. But so
Yeah,
you're
so
using
like
to manipulate the video that you have.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like if I use like different distortion pedals and like different highs and different like lows, it like
Hmm.
responds differently, and it's kind of fun. I'm still trying to work
You're still,
out how exactly it works.
yeah.
Yeah, it's literally I have no idea how this works. I just turn a lot of knobs and it looks pretty cool. That's pretty much it.
You're just cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I even got like a CRT TV for that. Like my friend gave me, and I had to go to Harlem, and I carried the TV from Harlem back to Brooklyn. It was pretty cool. Um, yeah, and then I got a bunch of like guitar pedals that
Yeah.
can go into the audio jack, and then like I just fuck around with the distortions and stuff.
Have you
Yeah, yeah.
have you put this in any of the videos you've been making lately? Or are
I
you just
did that a lot last year
okay?
because it's like the cheapest thing because I don't have to buy any materials
Yeah.
anymore. Because I when I do films, I had to buy film. But this is like once I have it, I just plug into the TV and I'm good. So I did a bunch of it for Primitive Man last year.
Okay.
They put out a record last year. I did, so there were like 6 songs on the record. I did 4 videos.
Backing up for a second.
Yep.
I think most people probably know you as like a live music videographer and are
Yeah.
probably a little bit less familiar with your music video work.
Oh, okay.
So like intro that a little bit.
Oh, I also make music videos. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
No, but like
I also make music.
casual drops that you made music videos for Primitive Man.
Yeah. Well, I make music video on the sides here and there. I get freelance jobs here and there doing random stuff. I actually started working for Relapse Record in 2017, and
House.
hmm?
You're like house there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm kind of an in-house person now. 4 years later. 4 years later. Yeah, so last year when Primitive Man put out their, I mean, I did their 2018 or 17 record too. I did a couple of them back then, and then last year I did like I think it's a 6-song record. I did 4 videos of that, and then all of them were mixed with that.
No
and
shit.
then the other band that I went really crazy with last year was this band called Realize.
Oh, the okay.
Yeah, it's an industrial band from Tucson.
Yeah.
Are they from Tucson? Tucson or Phoenix, whatever that city in Arizona. Whatever it is that's in Arizona, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. I went really crazy with the Realize videos.
Yeah.
Like I went through like 4 or 5 different settings,
Yeah.
and I record all of them, and I layer them together in post, and it just looked really fucked up, and you can't really tell what it is, which is awesome. Because I rip off a bunch of like these like Japanese cyberpunk movies, and I make them like almost unrecognizable, so like there's not that many like copyright problems. If you can't tell, you probably can't really do anything about it. Yeah. So
I think it's,
yeah.
do you have like a list somewhere of a lot of the music videos that you've done? Because I know some of them aren't on your personal channel. They're like usually like on the band page or whatever.
Yeah, usually in somewhere else. Well, I usually put, if I make something and it comes out, I usually put on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, the Max Volume Silence Space Facebook.
Great here is telling us that Realize is from Tucson.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm too
You're
sorry.
good.
I love that band though. The people in that band's cool.
Realize?
I also love Sex Prisoner. Like two of the people from that band's in Sex Prisoner. That band's amazing. Um, yeah. I usually put it on Max Fun Science Facebook page. It's part of like promoting things and part of like trying to remind me what I did.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I make so many shits that I don't even know what I did. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I need to keep track a little bit better on what I do, and that's one of the ways I do it. So like, so if I forgot, if I do anything, I'll like for example, like every couple of years I had to make like new portfolios for immigration. So that's like a good way to remind me what I did. I'll just go through the pages like, oh yeah, I did this video. Wow. Stuff.
It's a long freaking list. Like for a really long time, I didn't even realize that you were doing like music videos. Because you kind of ramped up on those like a few years back, right? Like 2016, 17 maybe.
What do you mean?
Did like when do you, because I know you started doing more music videos, like more music videos than you had been previously. When did that become like a little bit more of an important part of what you've been doing?
I mean, it's been half and half for a while, and then it has become more dominant once I start working for Relapse. It's just because it's more regular now, because like every once in a while, I think at least like half of the bands that we put out this like every year, like had to make videos for them. Some of them are a budget reason, and some of them it's like the band want to do stuff with me and whatever. Um,
Or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, that's where I'm just like, hey, can you make some videos and stuff? Yeah,
Frank,
like today.
you are absolutely like terrible at promoting yourself.
I am very terrible at promoting myself. That's why immigration think I'm not good. That's what I have failed to impress immigration. That's the problem.
No, I think it's one of those things that's kind of wonderful though, is because like it's only through like talking to you at this level that I can really get a sense of like how much stuff you've done.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, like I'll like run into you at shows or whatever. Like obviously that's not happening right now, but like I know that you've been like helping film a lot of the live stream performances and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where like um it's exciting for me just because like I know that you do a lot, but you're always like a little bit reluctant to like talk yourself up. So
Well, cause like I don't know. I never consider myself as like, oh, I'm a great artist of doing all these shit. Um, a lot of times I do what I do is simply because I want to do it.
yeah,
You know, and it's like, and I think it's like living in New York City is kind of like liberating in that sense, because you know you're in New York. I think when I first moved here, I really like to say that it's like you're in New York City, like nobody gives a fuck about you. At the same time that you can do whatever you want because nobody gives a
yeah.
fuck, and it's awesome.
At the same time, people
Yeah.
just I've been like it's one of those things where I think like if I ever end up at a show and you're not there, I'm always like, wait, where's Frank? And it's like very sad for me.
Well, get used to it. Get used to it. It might happen even more often, Memphis. Um, yeah, but I think I've been, you know, I think last year I did a couple of live stream stuff.
Yeah,
To be honest, I'm never really a big fan of the live stream thing.
they're tricky.
I'm just kind of whatever. Because it's like well, it's part of it is just like I have no attention span of sitting down and watch bands at all. I like when I listen to music, I listen to when I'm on the train and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh cool, I spend $10 to sit down in my apartment for 20 minutes. That's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Um,
Like also the way that you have actually been doing like the production side of the live streams, I think a lot of people have definitely been on the receiving end of some of the cool product that
I think so. Well, there's a cool one coming up though. I just finished one. Well, I don't know if I can say this or not. But I just did this like really cool video, so I think everybody will be like, "What the fuck is this?" When it happens.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about
I can't really say that right now, but like I don't because it's not announced yet. But like yeah, the band and I were really stoked about it because we were like, we're gonna so fucking people up with this.
Chris Enriquez says that you were great on the Aqualam live stream.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. It was a weird one, but it was a fun one because because the whole thing happens within like a week. Yeah. Well, like George mentioned it to me like a long time ago, but it was just like we don't know if this is happening or not. And it was all of a sudden like one week we were just like, hey, we're doing this day and we're doing this day and then streaming next week. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like, what are you know? What?
But
Why,
you
why,
don't make it
why do
happen.
people like to do this shit?
I don't know.
I mean, it's like it's that's the thing. It's like it's doable, but at the same time, I get annoyed by it. Just like, can you guys plan this better? But it came out great though.
Welcome to DIY music. Like,
Because DIY doesn't mean you have to do that. That's
oh,
part of the thing. That's the part of the thing that when people were just like, "Oh, we're running on punk time," I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Running on punk time means you're irresponsible. Doesn't mean
yeah.
you're cool.
I
Doesn't mean you're cool. It's irresponsible, you
we're
assholes.
one of the Henry Rollins specials the other night, and he said he put the punk in punctual, and I really liked that.
Yeah, it's like how hard is that?
Put the punk in punctual. It's fine.
You know, it's like I don't know. Like I think sometimes people put like it just gives like an indefinite like infinite thing for
Yeah.
punk. Just like oh, because I'm punk, so I'm allowed to do all these shit.
Well, and it's funny because earlier on in the comments, Eric Malave was saying that you often show up before a lot of the bands do.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's almost like 80% of the time.
Yeah. I mean,
And
if I,
then yeah.
yeah,
If the band shows up early,
always,
it's usually because they were on tour, so they were traveling, so they were on time because they're early.
yeah,
Not because they're on time, it's because they just showed up early, so we might as well just set up now. We
yeah.
might as well set up. Or it's a band that with big productions, so they had to like
They have to
sometimes
like,
they had to strip the entire stage of Vitus and then put like entire their own stuff on there. So like it takes like the whole afternoon for that. What band did that? A lot of band did that. Mostly just really popular bands.
yeah, things with banners.
Like band. I think Trivion did that because they basically stripped the entire stage and then they put like their own. They even have like their own monitors, mixer, and
Hmm.
whatever it is like on the stage. I remember it, and it was like I don't even know what the hell's going
Yeah,
on. But yeah, it's like the band shows up early because sometimes they're early, not because they want to. I think
that's fair.
not because they want to.
One of the other things from your live videos that I really enjoy, and I don't know when you started doing this, but like the multi-angle like GoPros like on the stage.
I've actually been doing a lot
But
when I started.
yeah,
When I first started, I do that almost every show, and I realized it's stupid. I realized it's stupid.
well,
I
you're great,
realized I don't have to do that because it's stupid. Because it's a lot of work.
but it
It's
looks
like
really fucking cool.
yeah, it looks cool, but like the work time for that in post is like triple.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I with one camera, I just like sync up with sound and I export it. We're done. With multicam, I actually had to sit down and edit it, and then that takes quite some time.
But it does
Yeah,
look really awesome.
yeah, but like I don't have to do that for everybody.
No, you don't. That's true.
So that's where I realized like I don't have to do that for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think I stopped doing multicam for a long time, and then like unless it's like some band that's like really big or really important, whatever it is. I think I did that for Carcass. Um, And then I think I just stayed on one camera for a while, and then people forgot that I do multicams. And then when I went back to do it, people was like, "Oh, cool! This guy finally do multi-camera now." I was like, I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it for a long time. Yeah, it looks cool.
I know,
Like,
like,
it's just a lot of work, and then like
yeah,
a lot,
it's a lot of work.
it's
But I
just
know
not.
you like your multicam will be like more of like a drum cam. Yeah.
I'm a drummer, so I
At
appreciate drum cams.
drummer. So
Yeah. I like a lot of the time it's like my own personal pet peeves to just like watching drummers know how they play their drums. And I use like, hey, I'm gonna do multicam as an excuse, but I just want to check out how they play their drums.
you just want to creep on really good drummers.
Yeah, this why not? Like Nick Yashing from Sumac and Tyler from Yellowjack. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do drum cams for you, dude. It's gonna look cool. But it's like I just want to watch it myself. Just for myself. That's mostly the case.
No,
Yeah.
that's awesome though. Because I think also like one of the things that I think is really successful about a lot of your live videos is that you like clearly are a musician who like has an appreciation for the music that you're filming. So like you actually do get like a really nice sense of like the show and the vibe and like what's important at what given time and like that kind of thing. So I think the drum cam thing is a really nice extension of that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important that you're into whatever you're filming.
Yeah.
You know, because you had it. Because like I have like really short attention span that I mentioned before. So I have to like be extra like focused when I film bands.
Mm-hmm.
If I actually like operating the camera, a lot of time I just leave it there and then I just like watch on my phone. Or I bring up my Switch to Vitus and start playing video games so the band plays. But like when I actually have to like put like efforts to it, it's like it takes me like extra focus to do it.
Well,
So
and
like
better because you care about it.
yeah, so it's actually like if like it's extra important that I have to be into their music.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise it's just painful. Because I had to like extra focus on something I hate.
So like I'm sure you've sat through because like you'll go to a million shows. You're not gonna like every band on the bill.
No.
You might like most of them.
No.
Like out, but there's frequently like one or two duds. I'm not gonna ask you to name them because
no, I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk shit today.
Well, I think that's the thing with like some of the videos of yours that I've watched like in lockdown, kind of just to like, you know, relive some live music experience. Like with the Neurosis one, like it like really comes through that you like clearly care about that music. Like the Yautja ones, the Inner Arma ones. Mike says he misses you. Drugs also says that his drums were fucking amazing. So I might have put a little bit of editorialization on that, but
I did miss Indorama too. I think Indorama was one of the bands. Like I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh fuck, I miss watching Indorama.
Yeah,
that's for real. That's real.
Because
that was real.
Who doesn't? Like I don't trust anyone who doesn't miss watching Indorama.
Like Relapse signed Amon-Ra last year.
Yeah.
They might have a new record coming out. It's pretty good. But like I like during the work group chat that my coworker was like, "Can you imagine a tour with Amon-Ra and Indorama?"
Oh my
god, that would be so good.
Horrible.
What if Amon-Ra played with Indorama at the same time?
Indorama.
Sick. Wouldn't that be sick? Right? That'd be really sick. They do something together. That'll be cool.
Have you ever filmed any like collaborative stuff like that?
I mean, I did the South and Emma Ruth Rundle.
Right.
That I never released.
You're
Uh,
just saying that?
I just sat on it, yeah. Because I couldn't figure out the audio. I couldn't figure out. They have 3 fucking guitars. I don't know how to do that. It's really loud. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, wait. So that reminds me though, because like a lot of the time, I know you actually like mix soundboard audio.
Yeah, very badly. I
That
try
bad.
to learn how to do it.
You do a great job. I think it's
Trying to learn how to do it. Some of them were okay. Some of them were really bad. That I gotta admit. Some of them were really bad, and
right,
I
but like,
feel bad about it. I feel bad.
I'm sure first of all it's not nearly as bad as you think it is. But also like you are primarily a videographer, so the fact that you're going to the like lengths of mixing the audio from the show is like you're kind of already going above and beyond in a way that like I think is part of what makes watching your videos like so like for lack of a better word special, because you actually like have clearly put in the time and effort to make it something that's sort of representative of the actual experience.
I think like being a musician helped with that. Well, then now I'm saying I'm a musician. I'm saying I'm a musician.
You know
Great.
how to play an
I'm
instrument. That's
start putting tags on myself. No, it's like, but like actually, like playing in bands and then like work around people in the music industry actually like helps with that. Cause like I mean, it's like I like the person that I hang out with most of the time at shows is sound guy.
yeah.
So like I watch sound guy do their things, and then so like I get like some basic gist of like what's happening. So then like it's not like super hard for me to jump into it. And like also like during when I was in school I mixed my own films at the time.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay for anybody, so I just do everything myself. uh
But
Part of
also
it is because I'm cheap, part of it is because I don't have money. So you just
uh,
have to do everything myself.
all over the finished product.
Yeah.
So
So it's like it's not like I don't have experience with it already. Well, some sort of experience already. So it was when I think it was when I figured out how to do multi-tracks recording, and then that's when I start like, let's fuck around with this. That sounds fun. It's like, what can I lose from this? I'm still not
yeah,
getting paid. Whatever.
yeah.
I'm still not getting paid. So
That's
whatever.
yeah. That's actually the thing that I think a lot of people like maybe don't realize is like when you show up to do this stuff at shows, you just do this because like you want to. This isn't something where you're like, I mean, like maybe you might get
Yeah.
after the
Well,
fact, maybe occasionally you get paid to be there, but like
I don't
most
even know I
of the time,
want to.
yeah,
A lot like that's the thing. Like I knew I want to when I began, and then now and then it just start becoming a habit. It's like smoking. I do this like a lot. Just like it's like smoking. You just got hooked on it, and you don't like you kind of hate it, but you just keep doing it because you don't know what else to do anymore. So that's exactly what it is. You just got hooked on it, and then you feel like I feel uncomfortable not filming things when I'm at shows. It kind of ruins going to shows for me now. Um, yeah, it's just like I guess I have to do it now. Otherwise, I'm feeling really uncomfortable. And then I think that's part of the reason why I'm enjoying staying home now. Just like I don't have to feel uncomfortable at shows if I'm not filming anymore. You
I
know,
mean,
stuff like that.
I mean, like to be fair, like I don't understand that on your level, but like if I'm at a show and I don't have a camera, like half the time I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I was
Like
like, what? Yeah, you just standing there. And I was like, but I can't really
to
see
talk
the.
to someone.
Yeah, and you're just standing there, so especially like same Vitus. It's like I can't really see the band. Well, if you're in the back or in the middle, it's like I can't really see the band. What the fuck am I doing? And then you
Um,
were like, maybe I should go get a drink. And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, let's go get a drink. And then the drink turned into like 3 shots, and then turned just like, oh yeah, this is getting too much. It's good. And then it gets really bad later because I'm drunk and I'm start talking terrible things. So,
You used to, so like right now, not now obviously, but one of the ways that you like would typically be set up is you would have like your sort of like video kind of back here. You might have like some like videos up or some cameras near the front. But like I remember you mostly like with a handheld, like up in the very front.
Yeah, I also don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore. I just you just get sick of being pushed around at shows anymore.
Yeah.
I just like I'm not 25 anymore. I don't have to be in a pit. You know, that's all there is. It's like I don't want to be in a pit anymore. It's
Yeah.
already it's already very tiring to stay here for so long carrying all these really heavy things. So it's like I'm okay not being in front of the pit anymore. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You know, if I have budget, I'll pay somebody to do that. I'll pay somebody. That's what I did. I did a K pit. I just paid somebody to be in the front.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have
And then I found great people to do that. So like, cool, you guys do all these great works for me that I probably can't do. So just go do it. I'll pay you. You know.
you're just it's managerial skills, Frank. You're just learning to
Yeah,
delegate.
it's great. You know, like I don't have to do this, and then they deliver better products than I do. Why not? You know, why not?
I
Go
mean,
do your
okay,
thing. Go.
we have talked about the fact that you maybe sell yourself a little bit short. So I don't know that they do better stuff than you would,
But
but
it's, like,
but like one of the things about especially with like your audio mixing, but like also your videography, because you like spend so much time around that stuff, you like really understand like what good looks like too, like what virtuosity looks
yeah.
like in both of those fields. And I think that's like going back to the idea that like you are also particularly good at this because you are a musician and a music fan.
Yeah.
I think that sort of plays into a lot of why your stuff kind of captures that like live feel in a way that, I mean, I know I remember the stereo gum piece that Ian wrote where he kind of talked about some of your work. One of the things that I love about the videos that you make is like people who have never been to New York, have never been to Vitus, like watch your videos. Like people who live in the middle of absolute bumblefuck, but like really love some band that's never gonna stop anywhere near them.
I mean, it could be Torsten though.
I mean, it could,
half of it will be Torsten before he moved.
fine. But I don't know, like the fact that you guys both sort of had similar tastes and like were sort of similarly constant presences. I guess with regards to the way that Torsten was filming, because Torsten was filming, he's really old. Don't almost said that. So he was filming in New York though for like.
You can't watch this, you know. You can't watch.
He's not gonna get this far.
I'll skip it and send it to him.
He'll throw at.
Yeah.
But like when you had started out, like I assume you would just like at a certain point start running into Torsten.
Did I ever tell you how I first met Torsten?
No.
No? Oh yeah. So it was even before I moved here. It was also I moved here summer 2011, but I came here my sister was in DC at the time for her grad school, and so I came to stay for 2 weeks. I stayed with my sister for a week, and I came back to New York for a week. And luckily, it's New York City, so like I managed to find like 3 or 4 shows happening in that week. It was awesome. So it was a cake shop. Radiation Black Body also played, and this really cool band called Psychic Limb also played.
No shit.
Yeah, it was Fred's show. It was this Iceland band, I forgot what the name is. Psychic Limb, and then Radiation Black Body, and then Fucked Effects from Canada. I love Fucked Effects, so I was like, I had to be there. So I was there. I didn't know later that was Fucked Effects like 10-year anniversary show. I was like, what?
cake shop, which I
Yeah.
don't know, like I'm assuming like probably half of the people watching this know what the cake shop is, but for everybody else who's watching this, it was like it's not a big venue. It's like
No, it's this like really long, narrow basement.
that was actually the first show that I ever shot that Fred had booked.
Yeah, it was a long, narrow basement with no stage.
As like
No stage.
like the floor was like on an incline and like the stage, so to speak, was like at the bottom of this
Yeah.
like ramp.
Like, what? Yeah. But anyway, so I set up a bunch of like cameras, and then it was at the time I was still hanging out in the pit. I shared the pit. So I was actually like mosh with the camera at the time. And I like bumped into Torsten like so many times that he was pissed. He was really pissed. So that was my first encounter with Torsten. He was like really, really pissed. Yeah. But we made peace later. After I moved here. It was the very first show. It was the very first show I shot in New York. It was in fuck. What is that DIY venue? In Bushwick.
Uh, the the one that was over by the JMZ.
No, the one by the L. The one that still bookshop where people can talk about it. Damn it! All of a sudden I forgot about it. Anyway, so it was who? What band? It was the Man.
Oh, okay.
So it was the Man. They put out their like second full length or whatever. And I really dig that record. And I was like, yeah, I need to go see the Man. And then Torsten was there. And then he actually came up to me and was like, hey, were you this person at that time? And then like we start talking and then we make friends. So I was like, all right, cool, we're cool now. Cool. And then 10 years later, I think we're still cool. Yeah.
For folks who don't know, Torsten,
Yeah.
is another videographer. He, I think, is like the central person behind Unartig. But people still shoot for him actually in the city. Well, still shot.
Yeah.
For the pandemic.
Jefferson, whatever. Is it Jefferson? No, John Jefferson. Damn it! Now I really want to know what that venue is.
Oh, was it like? It wasn't like Pine Box Rock Shop or something.
No. It was somebody's address.
Oh.
Oh damn! Now I really want to see it, but I can't look it up on my phone. I can't look it up on my phone.
It's fine. Somebody will figure it out after.
It was some DIY venue where like a lot of people live in it, and then they have shows every once in a while, and then people will hang out at people that live there.
As you do. There's not a lot of that anymore because there's not a whole lot of.
I think they still do things there, but they can't really tell anybody. So like it's always like Ask a Punk in the flyer now. So some punk would know where.
240 Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's 583 Johnson. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
My very first show in New York. Well, after I moved here.
Yeah.
But the very first show I shot, and that's
why. Stop where Torsten decided you were his mortal enemy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad I don't do DIY shows anymore. I think like this past like 2 or 3 years, I just like cut down all the things I do and just more like Central and St. Vitus.
Yeah, like focus on
because I have all the access in that place, so it's like okay, it's comfortable here. I'm gonna just hang out here. I have all the access that I need, and I don't have to talk extra to sound guys I don't know. I don't know how to deal with people I don't know, so I'm gonna just stay here. And then Broken Bazaar before they closed, which sucks because I love Fred. I love working with Fred when he was doing sound. But yeah, it's like it gets comfortable, and then like it's just easier to walk around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I
gets
do have,
older and you want things to be comfortable. That's why it is.
yeah, not that old, I think. I do have one question from Chris Enriquez. First of all, he says he misses you. But second, he wants to know what's your favorite part of filming bands and what was your favorite experience and why?
Uh,
That's like a multi-part question.
well, I don't. I think now, looking back to it, I think the favorite part is like the people I get to meet along the way. You know, because
So
I
is
think like filming band itself
it,
that's growing tired on me, like very very tiring on me.
yeah.
But like yeah, like I get to meet you. I get to meet a lot of people from St. Vitus. I get to meet a lot of people when I still travel for festivals. You know, a lot of them were good friends now. You know, so I think that's my favorite part of it. What other part was the question?
If there's any particular like show that you filmed that was one of your favorites.
I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite.
No. Well, and like, you don't want to.
It's like there are different shows at different parts that I like.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But I think one of my favorite experience I have it's the Neurosis anniversary thing. Robert. I really, really, really miss Robert and everybody in Robert. And I only been there once. I didn't like. That's the thing. I think that's the magic of that festival. That it's like I only been there once, and I feel like so welcome that I love it.
You'll just have to.
Yeah, like I mean, like yeah, I love Dave that did Southwest. Like he did the same thing, but I'm like it's just something a little. It's something a little bit different. You know, like you feel like extra care. I think.
Yeah.
It's just like how they handle their artists.
Well, they take better care of people in Europe in general.
I think so. I think so too. It's just like they're just way more polite, and then they're
Yeah.
way more like understanding on what the fuck are you doing.
And that town is gorgeous.
Oh my god, it's so pretty.
Yeah. I've never been to Roadburn, but Doug's sister is in the Netherlands, and so when we were visiting her one year, Gorguts was playing, and so we just like went to see Gorguts with District. Yeah. So it was like, oh, like let's go say hi to our friends playing in this like gorgeous old church.
Oh yeah, that place was so good. I saw Ranzi Pazuzu there. Oh, so good. And the funny thing about shooting Ranzi Pazuzu, it was I was shooting something at the main stage next door, and then but Ranzi Pazuzu already started when I got out. And then like you remember it's in the middle of the block, and then but then like there was this huge, and you had to go up second stairs, right? So go up the stairs. So like the line was like from the stairs to like around the block to go and see Ranzi Pazuzu. So I was like, fuck. But then like they live one side of the stairs for exit. I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go fight the security gap there, huh? So I was like, I had a monopod in my hand. I had the camera back in my hand. I was like, okay, let's go. I had to like tell myself I had to go fight the security. So I went up there. I was like, hey, sorry, I need to go out and film that. And I was like, go. You had the press pass. Just go. I'm like, what? That never happens in States, ever. You know, like I get yelled at by security in States. But in Europe, it's like, yeah, just go. You have the pass. Just go. I was like, what? That's it? That's it? Yeah, people in Europe are nice.
In the United States,
I really miss that.
Get you a blonde wig because they don't yell at you if you've got a camera and not a dude.
Ugh, no.
Yeah, it's gross.
No, thanks. Well, I'm only at St. Vitus now, so I know how to deal with this, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't travel for festival anymore because fuck that. I would go to Robert if I had the money, but other than that, I don't really want to travel for festivals anymore.
Yeah.
I'm way past that now.
Too old for that shit?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, like it's cool. It's cool to hang out because like like the last festival I did was, well, out of town festival was the Norwest Terror Fest in Seattle. I get to meet people I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
That was really nice. But at the same time, like it took me like a month to edit everything. You know.
Yeah,
And
because
like,
you're just shooting like set after set after set after
yeah,
set.
yeah. And then like I think I got really grumpy and I yelled at one of the guys that they sent to help me. And I feel really bad about it. But I was like, it was like in the middle of the night, and then it was like an after show at 1 a.m. And I showed up, the guy didn't set up the way I tell him to, and I just yell at him. And like the next day, I was like, why did I do that to that guy? That guy have no idea what the fuck is going on. Why did I yell at him? I feel really bad about it. You know, stuff like that. It's like I don't want to repeat that anymore.
Well, I mean, also, yeah, it's a lot. It's a long day, and like if you aren't super social to begin with, it's a
Yeah, and like I hate being around like thousands of people. Like no, just no. 20 is like way too many already. 20 is like, this is why I really appreciate that my spot at Vitus. Like that's why I really appreciate my spot at Vitus in the sound booth now. Like I don't have to like physically connect with anybody if I don't want to. Unless I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to
amazing.
And I was at a show by myself. I used to just like go stand by you because I like knew that I could be like a buffer.
Yeah.
So that other people wouldn't have to interact with you.
No, it's like, yeah. I mean, there's so many little incidents when I was still sitting in the middle, like on the side of the room, but still around people, and it's just like, it's like it's so annoying. Like I don't know why. It's just part of like anti-social self. It's like, can you not touch me? Can you not touch my shit? Stuff. But it's nobody's fault. That's the thing. No, it's nobody's fault. It's just me being really annoying around people, and then I bring in that to other people, and I feel really bad. I feel really bad, but also at the same time, fuck off, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I feel like that is a perfect opportunity to ask any last words, any final parting thoughts.
Be nice to each other, I guess.
Yeah. And don't touch Frank's shit.
Yeah, don't touch my shit and be nice to each other. I think that's it. Don't touch my shit.
Honestly, it's sage advice.
Unless I like you. Unless I like you. Don't touch my shit unless I like you. Yeah. And be nice to each other. It's very important. It's very important nowadays.
Yeah. Don't be a dick is like a great life
rule. It's not hard.
Not that hard.
It's totally not hard to not be a dick. And it's always like, it's always a conscious choice of somebody you want to be a dick and why would you want to do that.
Yeah. All right.
I do that when people are dick to me, but like usually I try to be a dick.
Frank, thank you so much for taking the time and thank you for giving. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. This is fun. This is way a lot fun than I thought. I thought it would be.
Not that scary, I promise.
Yeah.
Only a little bit.
About that. I'm kind of drunk right now, so we'll see. You can see I'm a little red. I'm a little drunk right now.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll save this up on the IGTV tab. So if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with us. And you can always come back and visit.
Okay.
Frank, I'm seeing you sooner rather than later, I hope. So be good.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. Bye.